Hi everyone. So what Nate and I thought we'd like to do is talk about how Method is set up as an organization and how that organization is set up to support creativity within the company. And then we'd like to go on to talk about some of the guide rails that we've kind of tried to figure out that help focus the creative efforts within Method. You know, Method's quite a young company. It's been growing really fast. Things have got a little out of control. We're trying to bring them back in. Does everyone know who Method is? For those who don't, great on a PC actually. Is it going to flip? There we go. So as I was saying before, the company's been around about 7 years, had very humble beginnings. This is a picture of Eric, one of our founders, sort of hawking cleaning products in the liquor aisle of the local supermarket. Of course, at that stage we had a few kinks to work out in the strategy.
Even from the beginning, though, the strategy was always crystal clear, and that was to inspire a happy, healthy home, and to do it through good design, good product, and that's been the same ever since. So even though we've gone through some roadblocks and we've gone through some trials and tribulations, it's always been the same, just to create great product.
Cool, thank you. So to sort of bring back what Max was talking about, Method is a company that's about profit. We're a for-profit company. We don't believe you should have to sacrifice to make a green choice.
Sure. So from the beginning, Method always felt like in order to create change, Method felt like they had to do that from the inside out, and they felt like it was really important that we go forward and make products that created demand, and then the products that created change. So creating ways to recycle things and creating new ways to create things and new ways to develop products were key to the business. There were a lot of people who were involved in nonprofits, and they felt like that was the long way around to develop a change. And they came into Method to create the change from within and to really create a company that believed what it was doing and did good things. And so there's a lot of companies that start out and make being a green brand into a marketing ploy or something like that. Method was pretty much that from the beginning, and we've never really talked about it because it just seemed like the right thing to do, quite honestly.
A lot of green brands, the way they try and work is they try and, with a doctrine of sacrifice, bring the mass market to green. And the way that Method sort of works is we try and bring green to the mass. In that sort of strategy, for a small company, you have to rely on a lot of earned media rather than paid media. And part of that is our packaging strategy, which sort of sets up the packaging as our primary marketing vehicle. We like to think about the relationship with our customers not really ending with them selecting the product and putting it in the shopping basket, but really we understand that these Sorry, we understand that these.
Have trouble with the microphones.
We understand that these. These packages live for many months in people's homes. You've got to look at them. Aesthetics become part of what's important to people.
So this is really the only place that we feel like we can compete. We can't outspend people. We don't pay for media. We've done very small campaigns. And the only way we really can compete, we feel, is at the shelf level. And we feel like we can kick people's asses there through good design. And that's been the same since the beginning. So create good product, put it on shelf, and let it fight for space and let it fight for mind share. Totally different strategy from everyone else. I think Eric has a great slide that we spend, I think, 1/10 of what P&G spends on toilet paper. So I mean, that's kind of just to put it in perspective of how much we spend on advertising. It's really nothing.
Have any guys, is anyone from Clorox here? So, congratulations on leaving. They just launched a really great product, which is Greenworks. It's doing great in the market. There's 20 feet of it at Walmart. In the first 3 months, they spent more on marketing than Method has spent in its entire 7 years launching that product. So Method as a company, we kind of like to walk the walk, and our brands and our products are a reflection of the culture within the company. This is a picture of our reception area here in San Francisco. There's some of the things that we do that sort of authenticate the brand, allow us to live the substance and style lifestyle. We're carbon neutral in all the things we do. We give employees a funded Kiva account to spend as they wish. We'll give you $1,000 if you buy a hybrid. We'll give you $10,000 if you adopt a kid. We have.
Seems kind of funny when you say it like that, but it's a good thing. It's a good thing.
We
buy a kid.
We use biodiesel in all our distribution. We have solar powered forklifts. We have a crazy recycling program in the office. As a company culture, we tend to really over communicate a lot, and this is something that I think helps the creativity. You can see this is the picture of our office. We have 3 floors like this. No one in the entire company, from the CEO down to the guy in Hong Kong, has an office. We're all open plan. We yell and scream at each other all the time. There's no real titles. We make jokes out of titles. There's no real hierarchy. We're very flat. It's very noisy. This is what the office looks like 10 minutes after we move in. The difference between creative and Method and creative at other different companies is that we let creative have a voice at the strategy table. It's not a service to marketing like it is in other CPG companies. It's much more of a partner to marketing. Gives us a voice at the big table.
The big difference at Method, we talk a lot about there's no real creative department. It's just a creative company. And so everyone thinks creatively, and we don't silo people off. The creative department is on the 2nd floor. It's pretty much everyone everywhere, and that's what makes the difference. So we talk a lot about, everyone always goes, what's the secret? What's the big story? And there's, unfortunately for you guys, maybe I'm cutting to the end, but there's really no big story. It's pretty much just honest transparency and right out in the open and living and breathing what we set up to do and then letting people do it.
The big thing that we stress in our creative processes is collaboration. If you see up on that slide, it's a little dark actually. Nate and I both sit next to this big 50-foot long whiteboard. We call it the wiki wall. Anything that's being thought about in the studio, any concepts, any ideas, are all put up on this wall for everyone in the company to come and see what we're doing, talk about what we're doing, have meetings about what we're doing, write on it, comment on it, drag people into conversations about it. The wall is right next to the restrooms in the company, so every day we get to see about everyone walking past. You'd be surprised how quick you can get a decision out of a VP if you stop them on the way to the bathroom. I was going to say one other thing. Is the other thing we do, which we do an awful lot of, is make prototypes. And we make prototypes all the time in any sort of way we can. And what they do is they're a great way to facilitate a conversation with people, especially if you can put something physical in their hands. The way I'd like to talk about it, it's like thinking out loud. You can grab people, pull them together in a group, chuck a prototype at them, like a model of a bottle or whatever we're thinking about. And it really helps drive sort of consensus and decision making and also collaboration. One of the other things we do at Method, and someone else was talking about this too, is that we make sure that everyone in the company knows about everything we're doing in terms of what our philosophies are, how we formulate products, how we pick fragrances, what soap is and how soap works, and what's green about Method. And so again, it allows people to talk about it with their friends. Everyone's on the same songbook when it comes to talking externally to the company. One of the problems with having this really accelerated product development process and being a small company trying to get maximum bang for its buck is people tend to clash a lot. And Method is a sort of a type A company, and it's full of type A personalities. What we found is that we were having lots of really...
Except for us. Sorry.
Except for him. And what we're having was lots of head-butting, lots of people getting in arguments, getting upset, storming out, slamming doors, all that sort of stuff. And so we decided to create a set of values, which really were a set of behaviors that we want people to model within the organization that allows you kind of to navigate those really sticky situations when you're having a really confrontational discussion or where you're having very strong views put forward. It's one of those tools that helps us to use the other guy's term, stop kicking the shit out of people whenever they deserve it.
These things are really key, and as funny as it seems like an obvious solution, but what this has done is, at Method, we've got, because we're a huge growth company, we've got VPs who spent 50 years at wherever they are from, next to people who this is their first job. And so getting them all to play by the rules, there are no offices you can run into and shut the door. There's none of that kind of stuff. So it's key to have rules to the road to allow everyone to play and allow people to feel like they're being heard. So these are really critical. When we talk about inside-out branding, there's a lot of work done to get these right, to roll them out to the company, to make sure that everyone understands it. It's like an internal ad campaign for us, really.
It's one of the things that goes into everyone's onboarding kits, and we talk about it a lot every week in meetings. We give values awards to people who are most, articulate the value that week or something like that. The other thing that Method does is it values weird people. One of the questions we always ask in all the job interviews we do is, how will you keep Method weird? And we get a lot of interesting responses. We do draw a distinction between good weird and bad weird, though. One of the other questions we ask too, normally the final question on whether someone gets hired or not, is we sit around in a group and we ask each other, would we be psyched sitting next to this person for 8 hours on a flight to China or something like that? All right. So Ned and I have been working on this for a bit. It's a bit rough still, but we're trying to figure it out ourselves. So we're trying to figure out what makes it work within Method. So we're not trying to be prescriptive or anything. And if you tried following any of these rules, it would be stupid, probably. Is that good? So the first one is consumers buy a product and advocates buy a philosophy. So this is a picture of one of our typical products, a hand soap. What we're trying to do here is we're moving all our bottles within the company to 100% recycled plastic. This means that we won't be using any new plastic to make any of our bottles. It all will be made from old bottles. Now, this is a huge step for the industry. It may not matter to you if you're not really eco-focused, but it's a real cradle-to-cradle solution. And that's kind of the step towards the end goal for all Method products. It's a really expensive change to do. We're likely not to get paid for it in the marketplace, but we feel it's the right thing to do for Method. And it's sort of a way in which we can sort of really show the philosophy. This is, it's like a huge 96-ounce refill thing that you buy at Costco. We had a choice of doing it kind of one of those ugly stock orange juice type bottles that you normally get. We decided to do it the Method way because A, it takes up less plastic, and B, it's kind of a nice object to have around. We get these things back from people all the time.
This is just an example of, we get letters every week from people who buy our stuff, and they tell us, you should think about doing this. This is a great example of just the dialogue between Method and their consumers. Someone bought this and sent it back and said, I didn't recycle it, I made it into a bird feeder, and we thought that was just kick-ass, so we made a bunch of them, and we sent out to everyone else an email and told them how to do the same thing, and we had a great response on that kind of stuff. And we get these all the time, people who say, I gave your bottles to my daughter's kindergarten class, and they made butterflies out of them. And we just love that shit. It's really cool. And we get it all the time, and it's fun. The other thing about having a philosophy, we thought we couldn't get, with our small media budget, we thought that we need to get a way to get it out there. So we thought the best way to do that is to write a book. And we don't know anything about writing a book, so we partnered with Chronicle on this, and we told them we want to make a book. We want to do it in 3 weeks. And they kind of laughed. And we went and did it anyway with them. And we thought the coolest way to do this would give us a great platform to just go around and talk and get it into the hands of our advocates and let them understand exactly why we're doing what we're doing. It takes you room by room through your house and talks about how to create a greener existence. And a lot of what we say in the book isn't the final answer, but it's the answer that we have now. And it's not, we don't pretend to know everything about being green or anything like that. That's a category we get lumped into a lot, but this is just a way for people to understand where we're coming from. And as an it functions as an ad campaign for us in the way that we get it into people's hands. We took our best advocates, I think 30,000 of them, and just sent them the book for free. Just so they could understand where we're coming from. And they sent us back pictures. And this guy, he's a huge advocate of ours, and he loved the book. He read the book. He poured out all his other laundry detergent when he found out what was in it, when he found out what other people were making things up, and sent us this picture and told us how much we had changed his life. And that's a great feeling. And that's the kind of thing when we have our Monday morning huddles with the entire company, we read these letters and we remind people that this is who you're trying to reach every time, everything you do.
So number 2, be provocative. What's searching for a movie? What's that? That's weird. There we go. So this is one of the first products that Method worked on, that Method did. The idea was to disrupt the dish category by bringing new functionality. In this case, it was bottom dispensing. People told us we were kind of crazy to do it, that it wouldn't work. It kind of turned out that they were right in the end. We really struggle in this category. But it was a bit of a glorious failure for Method, and it's become this kind of symbol of Method thinking within the company. I think a lot of you probably see this thing in brainstorms that you go to all the time. But it's really like a symbol of disconnection with what everyone else is doing. We're trying to do something different. Here's our thinking. If you like it, great. Is it gonna work?
This kind of thinking extends itself into the ad campaign. So we do the same thing with provocative ads. We had to make an ad about a mop. And we thought we'd encourage people to make floor love, not floor war. Hugely controversial. There's an animated banner that has 2 people having sex on it, which was a huge click-through. I think most people thought they were getting porn. And internally, this drives a huge divide. So we debate with sales guys all the time whether or not we should just put a big, glorious picture of the mop and talk about how cool it is. And we thought we'd actually rather talk about what you do after the floor is clean. And it was a little bit more interesting and a little bit more fun. And that's kind of, nudity is a big theme for Method. And that seemed to play itself right into it. So this kind of thing at Method, it wasn't even a question of whether or not we should do it. We just did it and just dealt with the fallout, which was really extremely small.
So one of the key sort of design philosophies from my perspective, function equals form equals emotion. This is one of our new kids products we just launched this year. Again, trying to be interesting and disruptive and relevant at the same time. The soap dispenses out of its butt. My kids thought it was really hysterical, and it's easier for them to squeeze, and it's easier for me to use when I'm bathing them. You just pick it up and go. Who knows what this is? Anybody else? This is our new product. That's right. It's toilet bowl cleaner. We call it Little Bowl Blue. Just a contemporary, I think, take on a really tired category. There's no. It's a non-toxic formula, so it won't burn your eyes or your nose. The function is still there. You can get up under the rim with a little spout. We really wanted to bring emotion to this tired, closely aligned category that no one's doing anything in.
hang on one second. This is an example, too, of method. You know, we got hundreds of letters from advocates, maybe thousands, that said, why don't you guys make a toilet cleaner for the long time, for 7 years? And we just released it because we felt like we couldn't make one and make it great and make it good and make it so that you could actually drink it. And we said that in the press interview once, and Eric said it, and someone said, that's cool, why don't you drink it? So he did it. And that made a huge impact in all over Europe. They were talking about this guy who drank toilet bowl cleaners. And so he challenged everyone else to, if someone wants to drink little, you know, whatever, toilet duck or whatever, he'll challenge them to a drink off. And so that was just a cool, it just seemed like a great way to celebrate a product. It hasn't caught on yet, and he told everyone at the office, and everyone was kind of, our scientist guys were like, if you're going to drink one, don't drink that one. That one wouldn't give you a stomach ache, but he lived.
Yeah, this is another one of the baby and kids products. This one came from this insight that I was thinking about, where if you ever go into someone's home who has kids into their bathroom, they always have that piece of Tupperware in the bath or in the shower where they rinse the kids' hair out, right? So I was thinking, why not just make it part of the cat? And then suddenly what you're doing is you're changing what would normally just be a bottle into a washing system that has storage built in. So this is kind of like the way we sort of think about adding value to these sort of things.
This again was awesome because we took focus groups and told them we want to do this, and everyone went, I don't get it. I have a cup for that. And we have this thing where we believe we should just make products that we want. And so Josh was convinced that that's what people wanted. We finally made it and put it in front of them, and everyone was like, oh yeah, that's great. That makes total sense. It was a
no-brainer once they saw it. If you got kids, you kind of get it, I think. So style and substance, which just happens to be the nickname of the two founders as well, Eric and Adam. So if you have kids, you've probably seen these sort of packs. These are these soft packs that wipes come in for wiping your kid's butt. The problem with these packs, though, even though they're really lightweight and there's not much material in them, is they're not recyclable. They don't get recycled. They're made from multiple materials. We were in a canister for a long time, method wipes, but we decided to move to these flat packs, but we only decided once we had worked out a way to make them all from one type of material. So this fitment here, this stuff here, it's all polypropylene, it's all recyclable, it's all one material, doesn't need to be separated. The problem is, though, that municipal recycling depots don't recycle these packs because by convention, they're not recyclable. So we're making the change now. We're trying to drive up demand for this type of technology. It's new to the world. We developed it with one of our packers. We're hoping that eventually it'll be a no-brainer for everyone to go here, and then these packages can no longer end up in landfill, but actually can end up recycled and made into new products. And then we have, this is a shot of a sort of new packaging for our mop product. It's made from 50% bamboo and recycled paper. We put a lot of effort to get the staging of the product right so it looks better in the unboxing videos that you see on the net. Our ship tests show that it worked. We had a type package before this that wasn't like this one. It was getting all beaten up when it was shipping. This one works really well. It outperforms the old one, but it's also kind of cost neutral for us. So it's a win-win, and it really drives the eco profile and the eco look of what the product inside is. It's a great blend of style and substance for us. Another one that we did like this is different and better. I do a lot of the cleaning in the bathroom at home. My wife refuses to clean the bathroom. One of the things that we have is those sort of soft soap, like lightly abrasive creams that you use to clean the bath and the sink and the faucets, all that kind of stuff. It always bugged me that I always had this sponge at the end, which I'd throw in under the bathroom sink, and it'll just live there. When we just launched this product, it's another non-toxic product, which is great, but it has a storage system built into the top. So when you have your sponge, you don't have to throw it in, you just plug it into the top of the bottle and stick it away. So you're getting like another storage system for free. Just tidies things up, it thinks of the consumer, thinks of the experience, making the packaging work harder.
There's another principle we try to follow. The brand always comes first, so method is always method. Even we went on HSN, and we continue to do things on HSN, and our two founders kind of popped out of the background, kind of totally outside HSN's model, and they thought it was kind of goofy, but everyone loved it. And they just went on and talked, no scripted kind of thing, just went on and talked like regular guys. And we went in, we put our flowers in our APCs, which they said, you can't do that, you know, we have to clear it with the lawyers. So they made us sit it there for 3 days and make sure that those flowers wouldn't actually die. And we showed that, and it just resonated with people right away. It's really easy. Instead of talking over it and making a claim about it, we just showed them this is how gentle it is, and then we showed them how well it cleans. So it's a big thing for us wherever we go. We get told a lot, you know, if you're going to be in Piggly Wiggly or wherever it is that we're going to go in and have distribution, you need to change your model for our customer. And we believe really strongly that we shouldn't change, stick with whoever we are, wherever we are at that time. Even when we're at the Playboy Mansion. So these are the founders with Playboy bunnies. We went down there, and they held this sign, never tested on actual bunnies. We talk about how we're not tested on animals all the time. And this was huge. They loved it. They had a great time.
This is yours.
Number 7, always stand for something. So we talk a lot about everything has to stand for something. It has to mean something. We don't just make crap just to make it. And we do that in a lot of things. And this is an advertising campaign that we ran a while back. It didn't have the words on it. We just put the picture out there, style and substance, and it went back to things are safe with our formulas, but they also work. And you can have a flower that actually lives in our product. This is an example of the kind of the press that we get. So this is the Vanity Fair Green issue. They featured the OMOP and they featured Method, and they talked about how Method was a green company and the kinds of things that they were doing that were innovative. And then the very next month, we got recognized by a design magazine for the same product. So style and substance working in two different groups of people see the same product in 2 different ways. It's really cool for us. We feel great when that kind of thing happens. This other one for us, copy should be short and funny. So we've done a lot of testing and a lot of things, and people have limited time when they're in the supermarket. So we've written books on the back of packaging. We've written tons of packaging, and it always comes down to things to be short and funny. So Method's pretty famous for its copy. This is an ad that we ran, It's Okay to Inhale. So these are different things that we've run that just beg the question of how healthy are your other cleaners? Lay off the hard stuff. This was a favorite. So this one we had also run a concept that had lines of Comet cut up like cocaine on a counter. And our lawyers called us and said, well, that's really funny. You can't run that at all. But email it to us. We'll put it on our postcards. Sponge-worthy. So this one we ran. Anyone who watches Seinfeld knows what that is, and we thought our product is sponge-worthy. That totally applies, so we ran that.
So Method, you know, is a very creative company, full of lots of designers. Sometimes we kind of disappear up our own ass, and we have to be careful not to do that. So one of our rules is if you have to explain why it's cool, it's not. This is Block. It's a really cool product, and if you gave me 10 minutes, I'll tell you why.
This one bombed. This one didn't do that good. So this is an example for us where really cool product. We love the design. People just weren't ready for it. So we made a lot of mistakes. We learned from it, moved on. The juice that was inside of it was actually really good. The copy was too small. People just didn't quite get it, and we figured that out the hard way. And we kept beating our head against the wall, saying to people, you got to love it. It's the best product ever. It fits in your shower caddy. You can rest it on your windowsill, and people just kept going, I don't get it.
You can get it at Big Lots, though.
Last one, be bold and happy. So it's one that just goes through methods. So we try to have a lot of fun in what we're doing, in everything that we do. And we try to make bold moves. As a small company, we kind of feel like we should have failed a long time ago. And so we just keep going out there and keep trying to do new things. And so we had this wild idea to create a pop-up shop, which everyone thought was kind of a crazy idea. So we went into Boston on Newberry Street and just created a store for cleaning products, which people told us there's no way you're going to get people to change their habits, and people will never go to a store for cleaning products. And we told them, we don't really give a shit. We just want to go to Boston and do this. So we did it, and what we did was made it a place that felt like a candy store, and just made it fun, and made it happy, and made it a place where people could come in and hang out. And we just had parties there every night. We would have a party, and we would invite everyone from the neighborhood to come in and try the product. And we would talk to them about what it's made of. We would give them free samples. And we were probably the shittiest salesmen ever because we were giving stuff away. But people loved that, and people would come by and say, I brought my friend back, and I just want them to see your toilet cleaner. Can you show them again how it works? It's a great PR vehicle for us. We hosted press events here so the press could come in and talk to us and see the product, and we launched a couple of new things here too. We rolled this out across, I think it was in Chicago, New York, Boston, Seattle, so we do this kind of thing a lot. And we encourage people to come in, and we have a photo booth there, and we encourage them to be weird and tell us what their cleaning confession is. And people get really into it. And a lot of people, more people than you would think, clean naked, which we encourage them not to send pictures. But everyone always tells us, you know, they clean naked, or they clean at night, or they use their toothbrush to do this. So everyone's got these secrets, and we encourage them to kind of just get weird with us and do these things. And the last one is just to know when you're done. So that's our presentation.